You can see this is a very small space. This room here is only about 7 feet wide by 12 feet long. So this room is extremely small. I'm only using about half of this space in this office to print shirts, and I'm still making it work. I currently have an order for over 200 shirts, and as you can see, I can work in this tiny little space and just make it efficient. So if I can do this, you can do this as well. My curing oven, since you don't see it here in the office, is actually outside. I have it right outside the door right there on my porch. Because there's not really a lot of ventilation in this room, so I didn't want to keep the curing oven inside of this room. I kept it outside so that it's not so smoky or stinky. One thing I noticed about the Pro model is I haven't seen it do an auto print head cleaning if it needs to. I've done over 40 prints already and it hasn't done any automatic print head cleaning. I noticed some of the other models like the L1800, if I print like 10 designs or shirts, it would automatically do a print head cleaning every so often in the middle of my prints. Whereas this one, I actually have to do a check every so often to make sure the nozzles wouldn't clog up. So right in the middle of my print job, I did a print nozzle check just to see if my print head needed cleaning, and it looks like the white did. The color is perfect, but the white is a little off. So I did a cleaning, and now basically the print head is working perfectly fine, and I can start to print normally again. Now, having this DTF Pro model for over a month now, one of the things that I would love to see improve on it is the blade cutter. The line between the blade cutter, I noticed that the film always gets caught in it. This side of the metal and this side of the metal are the same height, and so the film just goes into the crevice here. It gets caught and it lifts up. And because of that, I completely removed it and I just started cutting it with scissors. So Pro Colored, I hope you fixed that problem. I'm sure those of you who have a Pro model has come across that problem as well. So after it's printed, I would add the adhesive powder, which takes me less than 30 seconds. And then it goes into the oven where I'd have to wait for 3 minutes. The great thing is that most of the time, the machines are doing all the work. And now I'm just waiting around for things to finish. Before we continue with the video, I just want to know if you can relate to this. You are thinking about starting a t-shirt printing business, but you have no idea where to start or what to do. Or maybe you've been binge watching a bunch of YouTube videos trying to piece it all together. Maybe you want to leave that 9-to-5 that you're currently in or replace your current income with this t-shirt printing business. And I'm sure you have many reasons for starting. Maybe you want to get out of debt. Maybe you're saving up for a car, paying off some bills, student loans, or maybe even saving up for a home. Whatever the reason may be, if you believe in it, I definitely want to help you get there. And just like in this video where you saw me print an order for 200 shirts in this tiny little space, don't believe the myth and the lies that you need a big home office or a big garage to be able to start your business. You don't need expensive equipment to start your business. You don't need a large room or a huge garage or home office, or even rent out a space to start your business. You can do it from the comfort of your spare bedroom, just like I'm doing here. So if you're tired of the same old and want transformational change, definitely check out some of the links I have down in the description below and my free masterclass. Now these prints are larger. They're 10 by 8.5. They're going on adult shirts. And so I was only able to fit 2 per film so that it would fit inside of the desktop curing oven. Now once I get into kids shirts, they're a lot smaller. I should be able to fit maybe 3 into the curing oven, so it'll speed up the process. So it is now an hour into the printing process and I have a total of 12 prints. And as you can clearly see, this is a very small space to work in. As I mentioned earlier, this is a 7 by 12, and I'm only using about half of the 12. So my computer is right here, the printer here, the computer that I use to run the ProGrip software for the printer, and my adhesive powder bucket right over here. Curing oven, again, is outside. So a little tiny shop that I have here in my home office that's going to print and do over 200 shirts. So if you're someone who's living in a small space, maybe in a studio or an apartment or mobile home, you can definitely make it work. Now I've had the Pro model here for at least a month now, running it every day, and I have not done anything to it other than just a standard everyday print head cleaning and a nozzle check. The capping station where the print head sits, I haven't cleaned it at all, and it's not even that dirty. Compared to my L1800 models, after like a week, that thing looks like a filthy mess, just ink everywhere. But this one looks just like it does the second or third day I've had it. Another thing I would like to see improve on a future Pro model is the ink location. It's very hard to see the ink. I have it against the wall here in the corner, and I really can't check my ink to see how much I have left, even if I lift up this lid. The only way for me to check it is just kind of lifting up the bottle slightly to kind of feel the weight. And so far, having printed maybe over 50 shirts already, yesterday and today, I filled everything up to the top before I started, and it seems like the colored inks, they're still full. The white, on the other hand, has gone down a little bit. I would say it's gone down like maybe a third of the bottle. One of the reasons why the white ink runs out the quickest is that it always uses a white underbase. It always puts a white layer down at the bottom so that you can print on red shirts, black shirts, and colored shirts. So this is done printed. Looks amazing. It's going to look even better on the shirt. These are going on large shirts, so the print is pretty big. Now I just need to add my adhesive powder. You want to add a generous amount so that it stays onto the shirt. The last thing you want is a customer to receive a shirt, wash it the first time, and the print comes off, peels off, cracks, fades. And that's usually due to the adhesive powder. Not enough was added onto it, or that it wasn't pressed at the right heat settings or cured at the right heat settings. And now it's ready to be put into the curing oven. Honestly, having used all of the Pro Color DTF printers, the F8, F13, even the promotional K13, and now this Pro model, I would honestly say the Pro model is the easiest and least maintenance printer I've used so far. Now, a huge benefit of using the DTF printing method is that everything can be prepared ahead of time. So if you're going to a trade show, flea market, selling at a pop-up shop or a special event, you can have everything printed, adhesive powder added and cured, and all you have to take with you is just a heat press and your ready-made film. Then what you can do is just bring some blank t-shirts and have one of these designs printed onto the t-shirt so that people can kind of get a feel for it, see it, and see how it looks. And if they like it and they want to buy one, then you can just press one of these ready-made films that you made at home already onto the t-shirt, and it's ready to be sold. And it only takes about a minute to press these designs onto the t-shirt. You press it the first time for 30 seconds, and then you remove the film and press it a second time just to make sure that everything stays onto the shirt. So within a minute, you can have a nice, freshly pressed t-shirt ready for the customer. Let's say you go to a special event and the design has a specific date on it. For example, here in the San Antonio area, last May, I believe, we had the solar eclipse, and a lot of people sold t-shirts on it. If I were to set up a pop-up shop for a special event, I could bring my ready-made film try to sell as many as I can. The ones that I don't sell, at least all I know is that I just wasted a little bit of money on film and ink, which costs pennies basically per print. If I were doing a different printing method and I actually had to print the shirts, the design onto the shirts, and then try to sell all of the shirts before the event is over, that's kind of stressful. And if you don't sell those shirts, now you have a bunch of t-shirts with a specific event and date on it that you can't sell. So I would rather waste film and ink than having to waste blank t-shirts. Blank t-shirts are going to be a lot more expensive than 25-50 cents. Now, as far as consumables, I always get questions about what consumables should I use. People are always trying to go cheap on consumables as far as ink, adhesive powder, and film. I've only used the original ones from Pro Color because that's what they sent me. But honestly, the consumables is just so cheap. A bag of adhesive powder, I think it's like 2 pounds. It costs only like $50 or $60. And they're always getting cheaper. I printed about 50 shirts yesterday and today already. And I've only put in like maybe half a bag of adhesive powder. And there's still a ton of powder left. It just doesn't seem like it's ever going down. I still have a ton of film left. This thing doesn't seem like it's going down at all. And I already printed about 50 prints. So far I printed about 50 prints. All of them are adult shirts, about 10 by 8, 9 by 8. And the colored ink is still completely full. But the white ink, it's about a third gone. So that's really cost effective. I would say to print a design like the ones that I'm currently printing, these are 10 by 8.5 each. It probably cost me less than 50 cents. That's for all the consumables. Now, you're not always going to be printing 10 by 8.5 or for adult shirts. If you're someone who's going to be printing for kids or youth as well, that cost could go down even more. What I like about DTF printing as well is that the ink is pretty durable. Right after it's been printed, it actually could just sit out for a while. If you need to set it aside, it doesn't mess up. I've even left it on the printer hanging down for like 15-20 minutes and nothing happens to it. And so it stays on the film and it doesn't run. So I can hold it up vertically like this and it doesn't mess up. Now, this is geared towards high volume or people who print a lot of shirts per day. I would say this is probably more for medium volume since it only has a width of 13 inches. Sometimes it's very difficult to fit 2 adult prints side by side onto this printer since it only prints 13 inches in width. I wish that maybe it was like a 20 or 24 inch in width. That would make it more for like commercial industrial printing. And so these 2 prints here are about 9.5, 10 inches in width. So there was no way that I could put it side by side. So they just went vertically. Hopefully in the future, Pro Color will come out with a Pro model that can do 20 or 24 inches in width. Now that will be for true high volume commercial printing. But I know they're geared towards more of like home-based printing. And so if you fit into that category, home-based printing, the Pro model is going to be good for you.